Okay, so welcome both. We're missing Prerna and Pallavi. Main point today is the recruitment of Vito Hernandez. So he is a former student I met in the Philippines at the University of Manila. He's engaged, well, he's an archaeologist, but also engaged in climate and environmental actions. The idea is to, in the midterm, to involve him mostly with the blog, with the community section of planthro. But I asked him yesterday if he would like to join us in the editorial team for the time being, as long as we gather resources for the development of the blog, of the blog, and he accepted. So he accepted today, a couple of hours ago. So he wasn't able to join now from Manila, but we'll organize with Amit tutorial section with him over the next couple of weeks, and then he should be on board from the next meeting. So you'll be able to meet him personally. So that's the good news. I've also contacted another colleague, Steve Markowski, is based in Boston. Is also an archaeologist, more expert on mapping GIS. I haven't heard back from him. So first contact was few days back. I'll ask again and see if we can strengthen the editorial team. I haven't had the time to go through the quality check of our blogger for images, etc. that myself and Thailand committed to over August. I'll see what I can do in the next couple of weeks. And that's everything regarding editorial from my side.
I see. So, we see that the aim here is to ramp up the volume on BIBLIO, and and Vito's agreement to help is really a great news, I think.
Yeah, I think it's in the direction of growing. Again, it's slow. I mean, we have a bit of a backload, but we'll be fine.
Well, from my side, I can give a few news. We like I wrote on the group, making everybody aware. We've secured funding for Wiki. I mean, we had a person who committed to a donation of $1,200, which I estimate to be a very tight budget for Wiki. But I still think that's feasible, and if we act diligently and in a controlled fashion, we should be able to launch Wiki in that sort of a budget. So at least we can have we can begin and hope to complete it. And in that sense, once again I have Amit Onkare in mind, the person who has helped us a lot with BIBLIO and otherwise also has supported us throughout. He's busy till 16th of August on a project, actually very busy. And soon after, we will launch our discussions on wikis. And for, as usual, the first step would be to kind of design the wireframe or a blueprint of what we are trying to do. And actually, we had initiated this chat on mail long back, but it was like a footnote to other things. So this has to take a main hold, and I think somewhere in the third week of August, you will hear me and Amit speaking about Wiki, and at that point, you'll also know the technical architecture we have in mind, and you can contribute with your comments. Andrea,
do you have an idea of the schedule there? A rough idea? I mean, end of the year.
Yeah,
6 months.
No, I think to be honest. I mean, we have only $1,200, which also means that we can, it can't be a too long a project. And I estimate, to be honest, I estimate with all, let's say, delinquencies and people getting absent and getting busy on other projects, I expect end of October to be the time when we have a reasonable wiki in front of us. So we are talking about
Okay, is that
2.5 months after we start.
okay? That's great. The question comes for a reason, which is, I mean, from a maintenance point of view. I mean, once we have the technical setup ready, we will need someone dedicated. So I think we should discuss at some point whether this is going to be under editorial, like outreach, or, well, not totally, not completely, but partially outreach, and the newsletter. And then again, this can become, I mean, if we do it from the editorial team, then we'll need to, again, broaden the editorial team. We'll need to decide, I guess, a schedule for feeding the wiki ourselves. So, of course, I guess there is a first technical feeding, which is made by simply extracting relevant topics from the wiki, from Wikipedia. But then we'll have to complete with our own entries. Am I correct?
So first off, I think what we call as editorial team right now is actually the BIBLIO team, or depending on people's interests, right? So right now, editorial is all about BIBLIO, but in my mind, there is BIBLIO, there is Wiki, there are the other apps, but also editorial is responsible for content in general, right? So right now there is there is only Biblio going on. So over a period of time, it's possible that we'll have the current team of editors, some of them at least, committing only to Biblio, their starting commitment, and we will have to expand the editorial team to specifically take care of wiki and opinions and other things. So right now, so that's one clarification. But regarding wiki, right from the design and the beginning, we are working a lot on automatic content generation. So we will have the editors here. The editor's task will be to pick up relevant topics from Wikipedia, and those Wikipedia articles will be the starting point of our wiki, and it will be possible to fork out, which means extend what is already there on wiki, both in terms of the topics as well as within a topic. I mean to say, suppose, so for simplicity's sake, suppose we take 100 the editors prepare a list of 100 relevant topics from Wikipedia, 100 relevant links, or let's say pages from Wikipedia. Those are pulled to our our wiki platform. Now it is possible from that point onward to extend those articles, or have the 101st and the 102nd article which are not there on Wikipedia. So it'll be over and above Wikipedia in that sense. But it's not only that. One of the striking feature of our wiki will be the related media to the topic. So the reference, we will have our own space for, first of all, discussion on any wiki article, but also editors will, as and when, I mean, it's not something that they will, I mean, so we will have the baseline content to begin with, which is machine generated or automatically populated, but editors will be able to enrich it over a period of time. Suppose they come up with a very nice documentary or a very nice image or a PDF report, right? They will say that this is very relevant to that particular wiki article, and and they will list it somewhere very simply, either the link or they'll upload it somewhere, most likely the link, and the page will start reflecting this as additional media related to the topic. So
yeah, that should be open to the public in
yes, open to public, and we'll have to be a little careful. Like, people will post it on the people will post their suggestions on the comments, and from comments, editors will pick up, sort of moderation, will pick up and select or not select for it to be included in the media.
Yeah, no, my thing is just I see that this is going to take more, it's going to be extra workload. So my question was just whether we should in parallel, since it's going to be ready in 2.5 months, we should start setting up a specific team for that, or at least one person that is committed to well, to the collaborating from the start to the architecture of that wiki, and then the maintenance afterwards.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we will need people. So
So the question is, I mean, the question that comes is whether we should direct Vito in that direction, or look for someone else, or
well,
pick someone from our current team.
to be honest, Andrea, at this point, I would personally want Biblio to get more enriched in terms of volume and quality. So we should focus on what is there in our hand. The reason I say this is also because I think the baseline content on the wiki will be good, will not be terrible, will not be like incomplete. The baseline will be complete, and then there'll be the enrichment. So I am a little bit less worried, and also it's in a way hedging of risk also, because we from the editor side, we get an enthusiastic guy on board who has current enthusiasm and energy, and then he's just waiting for the wiki to get completed. I think it'll be a long drawn process, 2.5 months of constantly getting in touch with Amit, one feature at a time, and
Yeah.
sometimes he's absent, sometimes I'm absent. So I think it's not justified that the editor. I mean, you're all, you will all be witness to all this long drawn process of the development, and some of it will have to kind of go back and forth, because some of the technical features that I have envisaged may not be possible when Amit start doing it, and we'll have to approach them differently and maybe take a advice from Saurabh, Massimiliano. So I think it's best that we have Biblio and outreach going on. Outreach is very well taken care at the moment, I think. So I think addition on Biblio is my suggestion, and then of course, both will be up for grabs when wiki is ready.
Great. Okay. Then the last point, perhaps, is, since you mentioned it, is the within outreach. I started yesterday working on the next newsletter, so it's halfway through the quarter, and then I asked Prerna Malhotra to give a hand with it. I'm waiting for feedback for a response from her. Otherwise, anyway, we have 6 weeks from now to put together the next newsletter. And if you have any suggestion who we should feature as employee of the newsletter of the quarter, or one person, if it should be Vidur or Madura or AT or Thailand, whoever wants to volunteer to write a couple of lines, a paragraph on why they are on board in planthro and what they expect and so on.
Yeah. Well, I have no particular suggestion in mind. Of course, anybody who's willing and enthusiastic about writing it, Thailand, if he is, or else we have Vidur, maybe he'll be interested. Maybe Massimiliano can write something. His feeling so far about it.
Yeah, I was thinking of perhaps alternating one boy, one girl. Since we had Christo for the first one, maybe we should go for female now and then back to.
Okay.
Yeah, so we try to maintain a balance there.
Right. Okay. Yeah, maybe we can ask everyone, and specifically the women in the group. Maybe Prerna Singh would be enthusiastic. Maybe Pallavi.
Yeah, it's just 2 lines. It's really
Indeed.
nothing much.
Indeed.
Yeah, something.
Let's take this opportunity to improve the readability, the format, and everything. And I think for that it'll be important to start and finish early with the draft. And Andrea, like it or not, and I have really struggled with this in my life, but learned the hard way, so as to say, that less is more. I mean to say, if we speak less, we gather more interest from people. And one of my clients, one of my commercial clients at IDRC is running a campaign. Risk Advisors is running a campaign on Radiant, the product that we have collaborated them on. I mean, we are sort of they are our client because we work on Radiant with them. And they are running a very excellent bite-sized campaign. They get you get very engaging. You get 4 sentences in an email, and then a link or an attachment which is further details. And I quite like it. Very engaging, those 4 sentences, 5. And the subject also, for example, the subject for us is newsletter, but can it be newsletter colon, some, what happened, something very catchy. So this is also an opportunity to kind of improve on all fronts, and maybe also consider whether the last time we wrote too many points, and maybe less, we can make use of this. Less is more.
But I think if we are writing a newsletter, is already shrink down to a page, is bullet points. I think, below that, I'm not sure we can call it a newsletter. And if we want to change it now, well, then, or I mean, the way WhatsApp could be exactly what it is, WhatsApp. So, or a tweet or a post on Facebook, which can be an extract from, say, you pick one thing from the newsletter, and we systematically, pump it up and send it around through our network. But I think the newsletter, I'm not sure, but I think if I was as a member of Planthro or as a supporter or whatever, I think is the catchy thing is good to gather new. I think is very performant in gathering new people or new adhesion. But I think in the newsletter is really the way I see it is an update. Very. It can be even dry, but I see it more as a fact sheet.
No, okay, I agree, and not that we are a 4-page booklet there. We are a single page bullet point list anyway. Yeah, no, I agree with your.
I think we have many means of communication, so we should also stick to maintain some kind of format. I mean, we don't want everything to look like a tweet.
Something.
That's my opinion, but of course.
No, I think I sort of, I mean, I stand corrected here, and I agree. Thailand, would you like to share thoughts or ask questions in the remaining time?
Yes, I have just one comment regarding the wiki. I don't have an update on my side, just this comment. So I think one of the problems that we have is that the information is so much dispersed. So I think what we need is more integrity among different sections of our platform. Right, we have many sections. So BIBLIO is one of them. Wiki is one of them, and I think there are other sections that once I wrote to you, right, Amit. So we need to kind of make the whole thing look more compact. So how I see our whole BIBLIO is like the sources section of Wikipedia. So to me, the whole BIBLIO, so everything that we have done so far, looks like a sophistication of the sources section of Wikipedia, right? So in the Wikipedia, you have a full article which explains everything, and then below there are sources, right? And actually, each entry that we enter in BIBLIO is like one source. So that would be great if we couple this BIBLIO, which are sources, with the wiki that we have. Then we will have an integrity, and I think it's gonna look good, and it will give the sensation of a purpose.
Yeah, I think it's a great suggestion, and I think one way of doing it would be to mentioning again the keywords that Amit was bringing up would be to use our topic keywords, for example, which are our labels mostly, and then look through Wikipedia through those using those keywords or these labels that we have for our content. And then for each keywords, we can select 5 to 10 results, the most relevant from Wikipedia, and then we can import those results. And in this way, we can even automatize probably and say, look, all content with this label, link it to entries, that come out of this, that have been extracted from Wikipedia using that keyword. What do you think? Is that in line with what you were suggesting, Tyler?
Yeah, so you are actually making a connection on labels, keywords. Yeah, so yeah, this can be done that way, but I can't imagine how it's going to be structured on the architecture of the website. What I was meaning was exactly like how it is at Wikipedia. So when there's a sentence which relates to a source, then there's going to be a number 7, source number 7, for example. And when you click to number 7, it's going to go to a specific book in our BIBLIO. So this, this is kind of the perfect way of integrity. But maybe if we come to this, maybe your suggestion can be a kind of interface.
Well, my suggestion was a way of saying, of speeding up the selection of sources that we link to specific entries from Wikipedia. So say ocean acidification, we look for content with that keyword in Wikipedia, right? We look for ocean acidification, we get 20 entries from Wikipedia, we select the 5 that we like the most, and then we link content from our webpage that is about ocean acidification to those Wikipedia entries. And that was...
So if I were to technically accommodate both these points, how it will turn out is, yes, you will start with Biblio as because you're used to it. You look at a label, let's say ocean acidification, and you will feed it in, let's say, the wiki search, and you will see the number, and out of the 100 results, like Andre said, you'll shortlist 5, maybe 10, and those you will just prepare those lists in a dashboard, and a script will pick up those and publish it on wiki.planthro. And in the additional media, I don't know how automatic right now, those Biblio articles will get referenced.
Yeah,
those Biblio articles will get referenced. As a result, there is this integration between wiki and
we have to find out, because the stuff we publish in Biblio is already stolen. We need to find out whether we can link our we can link content to our Biblio, or whether we should link it to the, there is any regulation on Wikipedia, on Wiki about that.
Okay, we can check. We can obviously always.
I mean, I think the effort is worthwhile if we can link to our own webpage. Otherwise, I mean, it's a lot of time and effort, and it won't bring us.
The only thing is the way I know it's a huge effort ahead of us, but the only thing is the one consolation or good way to look at it is that it's just accumulation. Once we do it, it's there forever. So if we do 100 in a month and that's it, or 5 or 2 in a day, the beauty is that those 2 stay forever. It's not like they get outdated. Sure. So I think that's my comfort in all of this.
Sure. No, I think we should have.
For example, I can promise you that there will be there. I mean, at least if we get what we are looking for, technically, there will be no copy paste. There will be no formatting or any such thing. There will only be placing the links that you would like to see. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. So the editors mostly selection. I mean, 99% of tasks for editors will be selection only. as far as.
No, I think it's good that we have had this insight from Thailand. I think we should definitely keep it in mind through development of our wiki.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's good. It's good feedback from Thailand or a suggestion right in the beginning.
Thank you.
The last thing I would say is that there are a few from my side is that a few things pending on Biblio from my end. You know, for example, the 3 lines menu that leads to the other the other planthro apps has to be improved a little bit. Is dark gray, and you know, I want to use standard app colors for that, which I will. The right sidebar of a particular entry page is still very badly formatted. It's decent information, but it's not formatted well. It's all very technically possible. It's well within reach. It's a matter of just doing it, and I haven't done it, but a few
also,
other.
I think the list of trending topics needs to be populated if possible.
That's done, Andrea. That's done.
Yeah, but there's only 10 of them. I think we have a much longer list.
Well, I think there are. Sorry, I can check right now, but I think that we have 25 right now or something like that.
All right, then maybe. Yeah, no, you're right. It's just
there are about 40 of them now. 40.
Yeah, it was just an outdated view. That's fine. Great. That's great.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
I'm very
also,
pleased. I think it's looking great.
Yeah.
I see that the I said 2 weeks ago to Amit that the new web page looks very good. So the planthro.org now it looks much better than the previous version.
You mean not the BIBLIO or the corporate?
The corporate, the planthro.org, the corporate.
Okay.
So I liked a lot the this world picture. So once I was actually trying to contact NASA to get high resolution pictures to put up that background. We were discussing this like a couple of months earlier.
Yeah.
I took that task, but it went nowhere because I mean I couldn't get an answer from NASA. But somehow you managed to get this nice picture. Is it from NASA or is it from Google?
It's the same, but downloaded from the NASA website. So as long as we mention somehow where it comes from. Again, this has been modified a little bit, so I don't think we are infringing any copyright.
Okay.
We recolored it a little bit to suit our website. But by the way, Thailand, I can send you the link. NASA offers this, on a link. There is the lower resolution that we have used, but there is extremely high resolution available on NASA website. I'm talking about if you want to print a poster for the whole city, that kind of resolution is possible.
Okay. Why aren't we using that high resolution on the website then?
No. That's too much for a website. It's just really big. I mean to say 8 MB. There is one version which is 8 MB in size. There is the other which is 250 MB in size. So that's practical for web pages.
Okay, I see.
Anyway,
okay,
that's it from my side, and we've kind of slightly overshot in time here, but that's okay. It's been 30 minutes, and I'm happy to listen in, but I'm done for today.
No, I'm good too. I think we had a good and productive session. It's good that it's recorded, or is it recorded or just broadcasted?
It's recorded.
Okay, that's great for reference.
And
good.
And Yole is also captured.
Great. Yole is there. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Very quick.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thailand.